Dear friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Johannes. This is the last tutorial for exercise on chapter 3, which is diversion head work. So let's see. Design for irrigation. Design of weir for irrigation. A certain irrigation project is provided or proposed for diversion weir. The project will be able to irrigate 500 hectares of land with gravity irrigation canal system, and the site has the following hydraulic characteristics. You have average water depth required in the main canal. You have 0.5, and also you have average minimum river bed level. Average minimum river bed level. You have this one, 1896.2, and also frictional head loss along the canal, 0.4, and head loss across head regulator. You have this one. And maximum command area elevation along the main canal, you have this one, and head loss at the turnout you have, and operational head loss 0.1, and coefficient of discharge for the weir to compute discharge you have 1.7, and clear waterway length 26, and design discharge is given 112.5 meter cube per second, and specific weight of weir body, which is 2.4 for concrete weir, and the river foundation is boulder or shingle, gravel, and sand mixed with coefficient of creep 9, and average diameter of silt particle you have 0.6 millimeter, and upstream highest flood level you have 1899.82, and downstream high flood level you have this one, and number of divide wall you have 2, and the thickness of divide wall, which is 0.6 meter, and pier or divide wall contraction coefficient 0.01, and abutment contraction coefficient given, and you will consider velocity of approach velocity, and assume the weir is without shooter. So these are the given quantities. Now let's see the solution or what is required. So based on the above data, design the following hydraulic dimensions of the broad crested weir, and use Blaise creep theory for different creep lengths, etc., and also determine the effective lengths, top widths, bottom widths of weir, determine the scour depths, upstream and downstream cutoff depths, determine the bottom level of upstream and downstream cutoffs, determine the afflux height, and also thickness of downstream weir. So this is the weir without shooter. So you have headwater and tailwater, and also total energy level, and head highest flood level and lowest flood level given. So I think it is just a certain irrigation project for diversion weir. So I think you should have the highest the flood level, or the crest of the weir should be above the maximum elevation of the command area, so that water can go by gravity to the command area to irrigate a certain land. So the first step is you have this formula for discharge over weir. Just you need to have discharge over weir. You have this equation 1.7 L, which is the clear waterway length, minus K coefficient, abutment and contraction coefficient, and also number of piers or divide walls times effective head times the whole effective head, the power of 3 over 2. So let's see the solution. First, you need to calculate this effective head. So you are given parameters. These are the given parameters, values. Let me put here. Each given values should be in a single set for Excel. So you have, let's start from here. This is the discharge, which is the design discharge, 112.5 meter cube per second. Then how to find the effective head. Let me show you using Excel. First you have to insert the known values. So you have clear waterway length already given. Clear waterway length is, I think, 26. This one, 26 meter. 26 meter. This is just 26 meter. And also you have pier contraction coefficient and also abutment contraction coefficient. Now let's substitute in the equation. So first you have to select the target cell. You need to iterate and make equal to the left side value. So you have this discharge, you substitute 112.5 meter cube per second, then 1.7, then clear water oil length is given 26, then this is K. K means just the coefficient, which is pier contraction coefficient and abutment contraction coefficient given 0.1 and 0.01. Already we have put here. So these are the given parameters. These are the given parameters. Just abutment and pier contraction coefficients. KP, pier contraction coefficient 0.01, and abutment contraction coefficient you have 0.01. So these are the given parameters. Now let's go to the solution. Once you substitute, you get this value. So if you divide this one by 1.7, you get this result. Then the rest, you have two number of n means number of divide wall times thickness of pier. So we have thickness of pier. So you have 0.6 thickness of pier, 0.6, yeah, this one, thickness of pier 0.6, and number of divide wall 2. So you multiply. So n means number of divide wall times thickness of pier or divide wall. So you multiply this one 2 times 0.6 times HE. Then after solving, you get this result. So this is a simplified equation. This is 6.176 times 26 minus 0.132 times effective head times HE the power of 3/2. So let me start using data toolbar from Excel. You can iterate. So you put this one in left side here. Left side. This is left side. Then right side will be the equation, the whole equation, which is 26 minus this one. You simply put 26 minus this one times this effective head times this one. Then once you put this one, then you go any number. You can give 2 point, for example, 2.5, just for iteration. So the first step is go to data toolbar. So this is the data toolbar. Then what if analysis. Go to click what if analysis, then goal seek, then set the cell, goal seek, you click this one. Then once you click this, then to value, you need just select set cell, this one. You have to select target cell, right side equation, and left side value. Then to value, you need to value this should be, this one should be to value C6 point this one. So we just 6.176. You put this one. This is the value. So this is the value. Then by changing this one, by changing this, then iterate. So the result is 1.876. This is the effective head calculated. So another option is using calculator. The same, you have this equation, then take out HE on one side. So I take this one, HE, then you simplify this equation. Then you have 2/3 multiplied by reciprocal. So you have this equation. Then type any number, say 2.5 in your calculator. Then you just click answer. Answer is this one. This is answer in your calculator. In your calculator, then you go again, just you write this one, this equation, type any number, then answer you have, then make on. Once your calculator make on, then you just write this equation in your calculator, which is this one. Write this equation in your calculator without any equal sign. So once you have saved the value 2.5, then you will just have answer, then just write bracket the whole 2 over 3, then 26 minus 0.13, 2 times answer. Then you just click equal, this one, equal, continuously until you get constant number. Then the constant number will be your result. So this is your solution. This is your solution, which is effective head. Either calculator or goal seek you can follow. So once you calculate effective head, now effective crest length also should be computed. But first let us calculate weir height. So weir height means just you will have general equation to calculate the weir height. This one. Weir height means this one. Maximum command area elevation plus frictional head loss plus average water depth in the main canal plus head loss at the turnout plus operational head loss plus head loss at the head regulator, then minus river bed level. So if you subtract, if you use this equation, then you can find the result. So you have here J27 means just you go here, then this one elevation here, then plus this one, all values will be added, then you subtract J24. J24 is river bed level. So this is J24, this one. So once you subtract this river bed level, you will get the weir height. So this is the weir height. So the weir height, once you compute, then you go again for effective crest length. So effective crest length is calculated using this equation. So this is a general equation for effective crest length. So you have just clear waterway length minus 2 times NKP, which is number of pairs, pair contraction coefficient plus abutment contraction coefficient times effective head. So if you substitute, if you just multiply, then you get the solution, which is 25.55. This is the effective crest length. Now next step is H1, which is upstream headwater, which is this one. H1 means you have just upstream HFL minus river bed level. So minus river bed level and upstream HFL. This is upstream HFL. You have here upstream HFL. So if you subtract, then you get result. You have this one. Again, H2 means just H2 is the same downstream HFL minus river bed level. So this is downstream HFL. Downstream HFL. Then you proceed. Then seepage head will be H1 minus H2. This is the seepage head. H1 minus H2. Or just upstream HFL minus this one. You subtract, then you get this one. Then velocity of approach, since approach velocity will be considered, then you have this. Just you have to calculate discharge divided by effective length, length times width or height, which is P plus effective head. P plus effective head, which is this one. You have this one, P plus this one. So P plus effective head will be velocity of approach, discharge divided by area of the flow, which is the net flow, effective length. Then you calculate again approach velocity is V square over 2G. Again you compute this one. Then design head will be just H effective head minus approach head. Then just you go to now according to Blaise creep theory. Just the creep length is just the creep coefficient times the seepage head. So seepage head you have boulder or shingle, which is the coefficient of creep. You multiply by seepage head, then you get 30.51. Then length of downstream apron, you have this one according to the equation, which is this. For here having no crust shooter, you will use this equation. So this is general equation. The general equation for just for length of downstream apron, which is L2. L2 means this one from here up to here. this is L2, this is L2. Then you have to compute the same top width means just top width is according to the general equation. You have general equation, this one, top width T or A can be designated, then 0.552 times square root of H plus square root of D. Either this one or you can use this one, effective head divided by square root of G minus 1. So either this one you will follow or this one you will follow. Same approach you can follow. Just 2.24 minus 1 will be 1.4. Then bottom width will be the same. You can use again, bottom dimension is this one, BW, H plus D over G minus 1. G minus 1. So H is just the weir height, so you can use this one. So HD, which is design, or D plus this one. So weir height, which is this one. P plus this one. You divide by G minus 1, or you can use this one. The same P plus effective head, almost similar. So discharge, you have this. Now upstream HFL means river bed level plus P plus approach head plus HE. Again, just add all river bed level plus weir height plus approach head plus effective head. You get this one. Downstream total energy, which is this one. Downstream HFL plus approach head, which is approach head you have. So downstream HFL again you have. Then you get this result. Then afflux or Y, which is the heading up of water due to the obstruction of weir or bridge, near bridge or near weir, is this one. So upstream minus downstream HFL, you just have these values already. You can see upstream HFL and downstream HFL. So you get this result. Then silt factor, which is 1.75 square root of D, average diameter of silt particle. Already we have this one, already 0.6 millimeter average diameter of silt particle. Then you get 1.3555. Then discharge intensity will be Q over B, which is discharge, which is design discharge is already 112.5. This is a design discharge. You can see design discharge. Then if you divide by length, effective length of the weir, which is just water is flowing, then you can find 4.4. Then RS, which is the regime scour depth. Regime scour depth is 1.35 Q square, which is this one, Q square over F the whole 1/3. So this is the regime scour depth. Then you go the same approach. The depth of upstream sheet pile from highest flood level, which is from upstream HFL up to scour depth level, which is up to some level here from HFL. This is just D1 capital D1. So you can have this result. Then you have depth of upstream sheet pile from upstream HFL. You can see just this one. You can see 1.5 times RS for upstream. You get this one. Bottom level of upstream sheet pile. You subtract this, which is this one. You subtract from this one. Upstream HFL. You subtract this one. Then you have depth of upstream cutoff now. Depth of upstream cutoff will be, you just subtract from river bed level. So river bed level is this one. This is average minimum river bed level. So you have subtract from river bed level minus bottom level. This is bottom level. So you have upstream cutoff, this one. This cutoff will be 1.6. 1.6. 1.26, and the depth of downstream sheet pile from HFL will be 1.75 times scour depth for downstream. Then downstream HFL will be, you have afflux. So you just subtract afflux. Afflux, you can have upstream HFL minus afflux. You can get downstream HFL already given. And the bottom level of downstream sheet pipe, again, you can have just, you can subtract here from downstream HFL minus depths. If you subtract, bottom level will be found. Then finally, depths of downstream cutoff, you can get this one, because just subtract this value, which is already given. Average minimum river bed level is this one. So if you subtract, you will find the result. Then total floor dimension except upstream floor, you just have 2 times D1, which is this one, plus this one, except upstream floor, B plus L2, then plus 2 times D1, 2 times D2. So clear? So just you have, this is D1, and this is D2. So both ways it will go like this. The seeping water is like this, so it will go like this. So I think that's why twice. That's why twice. You multiply twice for this one. Total except this will be this one. Then balance links will be, you have to subtract from total creep links. You subtract this one, so you get balance links. Then this balance links will be L1 dimension, which is the upstream floor links. Then once you have this, then total creep links provided already known, and L2 plus L3 for a wheel without shooter. You have this equation, L2 plus L3 equal to 18 times creep coefficient square root of HS over 10 multiplied by discharge density divided by 75. So you get this result. You simply multiply the value seepage head, you go here, Q also you have seepage head, you go here. So you simply substitute in the equation and then solve. Then L3 will be, you just subtract now. L3 will be from the total, you subtract L2. So what is L2? L2 already computed here, 11.57. You subtract, then you get L3. So this is the floor dimension, which is L3 means this one, downstream impervious boulder pitching, which is downstream boulder pitching, and this is upstream boulder pitching, and this is upstream impervious apron, and this is downstream impervious apron. L1 and L2 impervious aprons, but here downstream boulder pitching, L4 and L3. So you have this one, half of L3, you will provide L4, upstream boulder pitching, just to avoid erosion. And total floor length will be this one, you can check. Then maximum ordinate of hydraulic drain line, you have just this one, total, you have maximum ordinate of hydraulic drain line will be, you see this is seepage head, then you have creep lengths, and then L2. So I think depths of downstream sheet pipe, which is N44. N44 will be 2 times D2, which is 2 times D2 is this one. So 2 times D2 maximum, 2 times D2 plus L2. L2 is already, you have here L2. So according to this equation, you can solve. So it will be 2.5. So this is the maximum ordinate of hydraulic drain line, which is just going like this. Ordinate of hydraulic drain line like this. Clear? It will be like this. So this is the ordinate of hydraulic drain line sketch. You can see ordinate of hydraulic drain line. This is the weir or barrage. So this is the maximum ordinate of hydraulic rail line. So at the junction of weir wall, then you can find now you have just once you calculate this one, then according to this equation, then thickness of downstream floor will be just 4/3 h over g minus 1. So this is the thickness of the downstream floor. This one, this floor. So this is the thickness, the required thickness. There, downstream impervious apron. Downstream impervious apron. So you have 2.68, and maximum ordinate of hydraulic line at halfway you can find at halfway, which is just this one. At halfway means just at this around here. So you have just only L2 you have, then times this one. If you divide CPH divided by, this is CPH divided by L times this one times L2, then you can find at half, you can make half, then you get the thickness. Then head loss across cutoff A, head loss across this cutoff will be this one. You simply CPJ divided by total creep length times 2d1, you get head loss across cutoff A, head loss across this cutoff, and head loss across cutoff B will be this one. So these are the head losses through the cutoffs. These are the head loss through the cutoff here and again here. These are the head loss across the cutoffs A and B. Clear? Cutoff A and cutoff B. So we can calculate like this. So I think this is just a solution for the design of weir. So using Excel you can find. So the values should be put in place for each cell so that you can calculate parallel. So this is the design of weir. So for irrigation you can find the dimension of the weir. So the only thing is just keep in mind this one, goal seek. You go to data, then what if analysis, then goal seek. Then you can iterate any value. You can give any value, for example 3 or 6 for example. Then I can select this is the target cell. Then you go to what if analyze data, goal seek. Then this value should be equal to this value. Clear? This is the calculated left side. Then I will just put 66 point 66 66.176. Then by changing this value, then you can iterate using Excel. So the result will be 1.876, but you have to solve the equation left side with a numerical value, this one. Then the rest will be the expression. So I hope. So I think this is a weir, so you can just design. So thanks for watching. If you have any question or doubt regarding this topic or this example, please forward to the comment suggestion box. So just like, share, comment and subscribe to our channel.